And now we're going to look at the review and adoption of the agenda. Can we look at the agenda, and if we have anything that we need to review, or if we have anything that we need to adopt, then we can do that.
This one, if you look at under the agenda, number 5, where you have in bracket Janjambure and Jaren wards. Immediately after that, towards honorable members and the committee. I think honorable members are part of the committee. So do you want to say committee clerks? So we add committee clerks, huh?
Yeah. Okay. All members on the committee clerks. That's 5, right? Any other issue?
Maybe this one, I think it's better fitting to say, let's say, statements from councillors of Janjambure and Jaren, because we shouldn't commit them to apologize. Apologizing should come from them, not we committing them to apologize. I think so. We should say statements by the councillors of Janjambure and Jaren ward.
Excuse me. I think
Yes.
that's
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's okay.
So it means we are telling
just
them
asking
to
them
we are
to-
asking them to apologize.
No, what you need to know is that it's not a force. Then it's a statement that they are to make. So it depends on
Whether
them
they apologize
whether
or
they're
not.
going to
Yeah, so
apologize
that
or
depends.
whatsoever. But I think the language here also is still fine. We can still forge ahead.
From
Yeah.
yeah, statement from statement from Janjambure. You concur?
Okay, is that all? Yeah, let's just have
That's
someone
what I
to
told them. I said
to adopt the agendas. Then we move. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all right. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. So
Okay, is that all? Can we have someone to adopt the agendas? Amendment. Seconded. It has been moved and seconded. And now we're going to look at the statement from the chairperson of the committee. But before that, I just want us to do a quick introduction and show that we can forge ahead. Can we start from Omar?
Good morning, I am Honorable Ibrahim Jaiji, member of Sandu Court.
Good morning. I am Honorable Kemo Gassam, member of Kogobadi constituency, at the same time a member of this committee.
I am Honorable Abdullah Njai from Banjul Central Constituency and a member of this committee.
I am Honorable Omar Diop, National Assembly member for Nyani and also a member of this committee.
good morning. I am Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, member for Sabasanja constituency and also a member of the committee.
Good morning. I am Honorable Ali Balde, NAM for Yara West. I'm a member of the Select Committee on Regional Government and Ombudsman And Iec.
Because of the situation of I am Bakari Kepa, member of Political and also of the party.
No, can we have them on the ground? Yeah. Them to introduce. Giba. Giba. Can I have a copy of the letter? Thank you very much. And I first of all have to express our thanks and appreciation to you for honoring this call based on the letter that you have received dated on the 31st of October 2022, which is notice of sermon. And here it is good that the laws of the country is respected, and the call was not based on any other thing, but it was based on the demand from the Constitution, as it states that this sermon is in relation to the oversight visit of the committee made to your area council on the 7th October 2022. Please note that are required by law to appear before the committee as per section 109 subsection 3 of the 1997 Constitution of the country. And we thank you, and it's good that you honor this call, because without which it would have been contempt. And it's saying failing to appear tantamounts to contempt of the National Assembly as per section 110 of the 1997 Constitution. So respecting the Constitution of this great institution and the Constitution of this country is a way forward for national development. Now we look at the statement from the chair. Here it reads, honorable members and support staff of Select Committee on Regional Government, Land, the Ombudsman and IEC, Honorable Chairperson of Janjambure Area Council and the team, welcome. You are welcome to the National Assembly. This is the Select Committee on the Regional Government, IEC. It is my pleasure as the chairperson of this committee to welcome you all to this convergence, which is a continuation of our collaboration. This committee, like all other committees, is established under Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, which states, the National Assembly shall appoint such other standing or other committee as it is considered necessary for the exercise of its functions. The committee, like other committees, performs various functions as enshrined in Section 109, subsection 2 of the Constitution. Committee may be a committee, or committee may be appointed to investigate or inquire into the activities of administration, of ministers or departments of the government, and such investigation and inquiry may extend to making proposals for legislation or to investigate any matter of public importance. Powers of the committee. The committee also possesses all legal tools to support its operations as Standing Order 101 of the National Assembly states. For the purpose of effectively performance its functions, each of the committees shall have all powers, rights, and privileges as are vested in the High Court at a trial in respect of enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examine them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B, compelling the production of documents. C, the issue of commission or request to examine witness abroad. Contempt of the National Assembly. Very importantly, let me add that any act of behavior that impedes the National Assembly or its committee from performing its function shall be considered a contempt of this institution. This is clearly spelled out in Section 110 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Section 110 states, any act or omission which obstructs or impedes the National Assembly in performance of its functions, or which obstructs or impedes any member or officer of the National Assembly in the discharge of his or her duties or affront the dignity of the National Assembly shall be a contempt of the National Assembly. And in addition to any liability in respect, therefore, under the criminal law, the offender shall be liable to reprimand or admonition by the National Assembly, and if the offender is a member of the National Assembly, suspension or expulsion from the National Assembly. Finally, I want to make it clear that the committee is guided by rules of procedures, which is defined in Standing Order 103, that is operations of the committee. A committee shall have power to send or pass in papers and records, may I hear and receive evidence relevant to the business of the committee. May refuse to hear irrelevant evidence or any recalcitrant witness. An oath or affirmation taken or made by any witness shall be administered by the chairperson of the committee or by the committee clerk. In line with that, I welcome the clerk of the committee to administer the oath of or affirmation to the witness to begin proceeding. Thank you. You can use the mic.
Okay.
Affirmation. Use the mic. Raise your hand, please. Your right
Yes.
hand.
Affirmations.
Your name.
Ibrahim Ofun.
Musa Sawana. I, Musa Sawana,
Okay. Do hereby.
do hereby
Do
affirm
hereby
that
affirm that
I will speak the truth,
I will speak the
the
truth,
whole truth,
the whole truth,
nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the
So
truth.
help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
The oath has already been administered, and we'll now get into the discussion proper. And it was as a result of the unruly behavior and disrespect from the vice chairperson and two other councillors, that's Janjambure and Jaring Wards, towards honorable members and the committee clerk. As it is stated in the statement, this is a constitutional demand, and it's based on the standing order and the regulations. That's why we visited the Janjambure Area Council, and that was not the only council that we have visited. But out of the councils that we have visited, the experience that we have in that council, we didn't experience that in any other council. I will now open the floor for the honorable members and whosoever want to take the floor for the discussion.
I have a question.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning to you all, especially those people who travel all the way from Janjambure to come and answer to the calls of the Select Committee on Lands Regional Integration of Ombudsman and IEC. I want to ask you people a question, because it seems as if the Vice Chairman of your council is not in attendance. I don't know why.
He traveled to Dakar.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'll of course stop.
Can I comment? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Chair, for giving me the floor. Just to get things rolling, I'll just buttress briefly on the importance of the National Assembly to the area councils, and most importantly, you, the councillors at hand. You were invited here as a source of challenge or a witch hunting expedition, or as a defensive mechanism due to the fact that we are here carried on emotional sentiments or anything. That's not the case. But as pertaining to the Constitution and our standing orders that empowers us with these powers to make sure that due diligence is done in matters of this kind. So we are all brothers and sisters. We are all Gambians. And we have nothing at heart in terms of diminishing your characters or putting in emotional sentiments towards the work that you do. Because you guys are also honorable members, but in a different facet, as you guys are more closer to that of the people in the grassroots. So just to make things clear here, we are not your enemies, and we don't see you as enemies as well. The reason for calling you guys here is because this is a new legislature. It's a 6th legislature. And as you can see, this is a different parliament. This parliament is very diverse. And part of what we wish to do is to change the status quo. And how do we change the status quo is to make sure that things that used to happen before are done and over with, right? But we wouldn't do it with, like I say, putting emotional sentiments in it. We will do it with due diligence and as per to the Constitution and the standing orders. So you guys were called here due to a certain misdemeanor that happened or altercation that happened during our rollout. And just to make things clear here, the reason for our rollout is to make things, to just broaden the conversation, others will come in later. The National Assembly, we share the country's coffers, we share the national cake, right? And in sharing the national cake, things were like, the status quo before was that, certain institutions were prioritized, and we all know that the local governments were never part of the then former regime's, agenda, and we were all struggling in our own ways, right? So when we came in as a National Assembly, part of our mandate is to perform oversight. That's why we have all these different committees, right? So part of these committees, we have what committees? Committee for what? Regional government, which is this committee. So you guys, the committee usually invites the regional bodies here, the regional entities, so that they would bring their activity reports and that of their financial reports for us to scrutinize it, right? To scrutinize it well, to be able to make sure that, everything is rolling up to par. And most of the time, even we have challenges because even in this area council, most of the time, I would say, even to bring proper activity reports, we are having backlogs as we speak. So this is a big problem for us as National Assembly members, right? So this brings me to the idea of the rollout. You guys have brought in your presentations, some we've adopted, some have been considered, right? So we were like, let's take things further. Let's try and roll out and go to these places, go to the municipalities, go to the councillors, go to the grassroots. Let's see firsthand exactly. Everything looks good on paper, I always say that. But we wanted to go to have firsthand information as to what are your challenges? What are the challenges that the ministries are ongoing at this particular moment? So as to, it will really help us in making sure that once we sit back, we'll be able to, on our own level, we'll be like, we went to this area council, we went to that area council, and these are the findings that we were able to compile up. So these are the challenges that they were having. So in what way, what strategies in our own capacity and our mandated powers, in what ways can we help these people? That's the only reason for our rollout. We came out as partners in development. We didn't come there just to, be extracting loopholes. Yes, it's part of scrutiny. We want to extract the loopholes so as to see how we would mend them. That's part of our responsibilities. So that was the reason why we rolled out. And it was really unfortunate that when we went to Janjambure, an altercation happened, and things, went too far, and that's why we are here today. So just to get things up and running, I just wanted to come, in this way, so that you guys can understand very clearly that you are not brought here as a source of, due to emotional sentiments like, for the fact that you guys did something that we didn't like, so we decided to call you here. That's not it. These are things that we are mandated by, and these are part of our oversight functions to make sure that you guys also are effective in your work, because it's part of being a human being to accept your mistakes, to accept that you have limitations. We are all human beings. Who knows, tomorrow we might do things that, like, are not up to par, and you might come and, put us in the regulating side. Just to make things very clear, so we want this to be very fair and honest. We want to have an honest conversation, and within the conversation as well, things will be very blunt because we are all there. We'll be very straightforward in how we see things and stuff, because we are all human beings. If at all we didn't see ourselves as National Assembly members, we are all young people. We can all fight, all of us. We are all hot-blooded. But we decided to take the different approach. We were like, let's be the bigger people here. Let's try to calm the situation and just end the meeting here and just return back and do our work. That was the reason. Because if at all we accelerated the altercation, it would have been a very bad, and it wouldn't tell well, because we are all role models, right? So, and people look up to us. So this is just my contribution, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Njai, for that brilliant statement. I think he made very important things. That is the importance of the National Assembly, because if you look at the functions of the National Assembly, there is a particular portion that gives us the for us to function as an oversight. So that was why we visited your council, and despite the confrontation or whatsoever may happen, that's not going to stop us from visiting the councils, and it's not going to stop us from coming to Janjambure. And just one thing that we need to know is that let's see ourselves as colleagues, let's see ourselves as partners in development, but not for the issue of witch hunting. We are not there to witch hunt anybody. When we write our reports, we make our recommendations. And I'm always happy when the chair is saying that, or when our chair says that I want to leave a legacy by making sure that the councillors will at least be praised. Sometimes when people complain and say we are all honorable members, sometimes we just take the title. But do we actually know the definition of honorable members? If you look at in other definitions or in other books, just to give you a simple definition, the word honorable, we said is has to do with people and actions that are honest, fair, and worthy of respect. The honesty must be there, the fair must be there, and worthy of respect also must be there. And we say respect is what? Reciprocal. It's reciprocal. If you want me to respect you, you must respect me. But if I am not respected, you don't expect me to respect me. I was on the ground, and it was to my dismay that in looking at some of our councillors, our fellow honorable members, addressing us like that, which was definitely uncalled for. If we really in for the development of this country, that is not actually how we should behave. Because if you happen to go back now, looking at the nature of the council, all the VDC and this World Development Committee, they are all part of you. How will you feel now if you happen to go to them and you are assaulted and you are disobeyed? I don't think if that will go well with you. So that is why we feel it's necessity and there is need for us to respect each other. It's very, very important. We are not there to witch hunt anybody, and whatsoever salary that is being paid or not, we are not responsible of that. Councils pay depending on their earnings. Sometimes what you may receive may depend on the nature of the council that you happen to find yourself. And we are advocating, and we will continue to advocate for the councillors to be well paid. And despite what happened in Janjambure, that will not stop our advocation. We will continue to advocate for it, and we are not going to stop, and we'll go until we make sure that things are put in the right thing when it comes to the payment of the councillors and so on. So I will just allow someone to take up the floor. Yes, Honorable Baji.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'll of course start my deliberation on the point or on the issues that happened on that fateful day when we of course went on a visit to Janjambure Area Council on our October 2nd on our oversight function. I would say what happened there was rather unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened. But like the saying goes, if a stranger comes to your house for a visit, it is the duty and responsibility of the host to make sure that the stranger remains in a very good home. The stranger should not be chastised. But what happened there is just rather unfortunate. It has never happened in all the councils which we have visited. When we have started our visiting or our journey at Kerwana Area Council, we all witnessed what, of course, those people did for us. We had a very nice reception there. And there was fruitful discussion with that council, the chair and the entire staff of that council. This was the expectation we, of course, want from you people. But on contrarily, when we went to your council, I was not in when the incident happened. I was out. I was called upon by somebody, a lady, that Honorable Gassama, you are here, something is going on inside the room. When I went there, what I saw was unfortunate. But I believe the reason of calling you people here is we want the same thing, we don't want the same thing to be repeating. We want to work with you amicably because we are partners in development. We are all seeing this country, Gambia. Gambia is what we have. For me, I believe what has happened has happened. The reason why you people are here is to advise each other so that we can work hand in glove. That's what I expect from you. Of course, I was very much impressed with your speech, Mr. CEO, because I witnessed that. I was really moved and touched. I hope and pray all the other members of your council do emulate you. To me, you are a true leader. Because now I listened to your speech, and the way you acted, that was really, really welcoming. And this is what we saw in Basse also. Masakunku also. We are yet to visit Brikama, but I know, even if we should visit Brikama, the same good reception will follow suit. My advice to your members is, no matter, even though you hold grudge against some of us here, keep it in yourself. That might be personal, but this one, we are on national duties. And we want to know your shortcomings. Of course, you are faced with so many difficulties. It is the National Assembly Select Committee on Lands Regional Integration Office of the Ombudsman and Iec which can solve your problem, because this committee will present this into the plenary for discussion. If we are not at your council, your problem might not be put at the plenary. So I hope and pray that what had, of course, transpired on that fateful day will not repeat itself again. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Baji, can you come?
Thank you so very much, Honorable Chair, for giving me the platform. I greet the CEO on his...
You get closer, it sounds. The system, yeah.
The system goes off. But my voice is very poor today, too.
It's okay.
Okay. So, the meeting is what meeting indeed. And I per se not thank them for coming, because it is a request from the Constitution that they must come. It's good that they have come. The one side of it, which is unfortunate, that the Vice Chair is not here. The National Assembly. What is the National Assembly? The National Assembly is that strong arm of government. It's the most strongest arm of government, as we know. Like, for instance, let me break it down for you to understand. The executive, what is the function of the executive? To carry out government policy. Which of the policy? The policy that is implemented by the National Assembly. That is what they carry out. That is, whatever policy that comes here and accepted by the National Assembly, that is what the executive carry out. Now the judiciary, they interpret law. Which law? the law is made here, if you will understand. This organ of government is a very strong organ of government. And in it, it determines how much you should be paid, your allowances and everything. And the reason as to why the site visit is because you are holding public office, and the public office must be accountable for. The public fund must be accounted for. If not for the public office, nobody will, you will not have seen any National Assembly member. But for the fact that you are entrusted by the people, for you to represent them, and an amount of money is located to you, whether on allowance basis or whatever basis, that is why the National Assembly will always come to you. And according to my little experience, this behavior is traditional. This behavior is traditional, and it's not stop and stop for good. The National Assembly, anybody, if you go to the section, the Constitution, section 110 clearly reads, it said any individual or any organization that stops the National Assembly from performing its functions will be considered as what? As contempt of the law, which you are under. I don't know what your state is going to be here. I don't know what the committee may decide. But then, I wish you know that the action is contempt of the law, and if that is to be exercised, it's going to be detrimental indeed, because nobody have the audacity to stop the National Assembly or distract the National Assembly from performing its functions. And you are the representatives of the people. The National Assembly is one of the strongest organs of the government. So I wish you understand that, and you apologize sincerely to the National Assembly, especially to the committee at large. So on that note, I thank you so very much, honorable members, and how you have handled the issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bayi. Do you have any other guy? Okay, yes, Honorable Balde.
Thank you very much, Chair, for giving me the floor. For me, I will pose some questions to them. No, because just allow me to go, yes. I think in any issue that you have within your premises or your council, dialogue is very, very important. We came to your council, the way you treated us, some honorable colleagues have talked about where we begin and where we have ended. But the reception we receive at your council is different from all the other councils. And then we are partners in development. Purposely for an oversight functions. Also to hear from you so that we can also know what to fix in your council. What are your constraints in your councils? What are your challenges in your councils? But do we receive anything like that? No. There is nothing that we receive apart from fight and insults. Do you expect us to talk or write a report that is a good report on your own side? We have to be very honest. We cannot do that. Yes, but I believe the National Assembly was there before us, like the 5th legislature, because this is, as my colleague rightly said, it is history now. You've been doing this was not the first time. But I believe the National Assembly is one National Assembly. But those who were there, they are different people. You exchange your ideas, your difficulties, your challenges with other people different from us. When we come to you, give us that chance, listen to us, explain your challenges and your concerns. Then we know how to fix it. But you know where he started? From the vice chair. He was, in fact, when he started talking, he was bringing in comparisons. We are honorable members, we like you people. There I know we will not end good. Somebody who is coming to say something very good or something positive, will you try to compare yourself with the people who come to visit you? What is the comparison? We know you are honorable members.
We are not honorable members.
We know, no, whatever it is. We are elected and you are elected. But then there was no point of comparisons. We can say he started everything. And according to, like my honorable colleague said, your CEO did very well. We listened to him. He explained everything and we were happy. We expect you people to behave that way. If you are behaving like this, you think that council will move forward when you people are there? You have to change your attitude. I don't want to use any foul word or an insult or anything that will, make you feel anger. But then, you have to change. If you want to go forward, you have to change. That is not the way. Am I? Yeah, okay. Okay. No, it's okay, all right, no problem. Oh, okay, somebody should be here. I go down. Okay. Yes, what I'm saying, there is nothing that a fight can solve. I mean, there is nothing that anger can solve. And then the worst part of it, you stood and want to hit a woman, a lady. That was the worst part of it. Even without honorable members coming to your council, you dare not to hit a woman. Why? You think that will tell good what do you want? We were matured enough to keep calm and move ahead. But we could have created something that, it will be history in the Gambia, which we don't want. But if you want to go forward, or you want to build your council to a better level, please, let's control our tempers. There is nothing that we can settle in fight. But with dialogue, when you talk, I talk, we understand each other, then we see what to do for you. We have been in the other councils. What we tell them was, yes, we know your conditions. You are directly connected to the local community. We will do all what we can do to see that, there is something put in place so that, at least an upliftment have to happen. With all the other councils. Do you want to be left behind? And you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself. Let's respect each other. Please. It was said the 5th legislature was there, the same thing happened. Do you want this to be a continuation? Please, my brothers, we are all Gambians. The previous speakers have said, we didn't call you here for any witch hunting, no fight, but then we want to address this issue. A council cannot function like this. When your CEO spoke, definitely we were all happy. But with your attitude, and the vice chair, he is the one who started everything. When he started comparing you people with us. That is not correct. You want us to say good thing about your council. You don't want to hear anything bad when we are at plenary or giving our report, we talk something bad about you. That is not good for you. It will never tell well with you. However you are big, you can be only big in your house or in your compound. But in the national institution, you have to behave. You have to behave. It will always help you. With this attitude, it can never take you forward. There is nothing that you can do by your own. That is not a standalone council. It is the same with other councils. Please, I will stop here for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Balde. As he said, there is nothing that one individual can do. Yeah, if you look at the broom has almost the tiniest sticks, but when they are bound together, it can make this environment clean. He made mention of very important points, and all what we need to do is that when it comes to exercising our duties, we need to put our political difference aside. One beauty of this great institution is that when it comes to national duties, we do not think of our political parties. That is why you can see us seated like this. You have UDP there, you have Independent, you have NPP, you have APRC, you have different political parties. But when it comes to exercising our duty, we do not look at the interests of our political parties, but we look at the interests of the country. Looking at the National Assembly visit is an avenue for the councils to capitalize and buttress on some of these issues that are affecting them. But if we come and we are disrespected by our fellow Gambians, and besides we are all Africans, and besides we are all human beings, as long as you are a human being, I am a human being, we deserve to respect each other. And we don't expect other people to come and perform oversight function in our institutions. It must be performed by us. It's not form of witch hunting. We are there to support. It's even a support visit because we will recommend and make our recommendations, and it is not only going to stop there, but we'll even lay it in plenary and see how best we can do in order to improve the council. But if you stop us from knowing your problems, it means you are depriving your own people who elected you for the national people, National Assembly, to know what are the problems of those particular areas. So please, I think it is very, very important for us to give respect to each other. It's the most important thing. If you disrespect the National Assembly members, expect that when you go down to perform your functions, you will also be disrespected. We are elected. You people are also elected. And you have to go out and oversee what are some of the things that is happening in your particular areas. So it is very, very, very important that we carry on. So any member of the committee who may want to take the floor, you can carry on. What do we say? Okay, on behalf of the committee, I would like to acknowledge the arrival or the presence of our Malawian delegations. You are most welcome to the National Assembly, Gambia National Assembly. This is the committee on this is the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman and IEC. So you are welcome. Fair consitua, feel at home. Okay, any honorable member who may want to take the floor? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Can we have, will you be able to do it in 5 minutes time? Okay, can we just have 5 minutes break then? From there we come back, please.